Sometimes it's like a lyric comes to me, and so I'll go from there. And then sometimes it's a tune and the lyrics, and it just kind of pops into my head and I write it down. 'Cause people say the darndest things when everybody wants. I've been told it's sort of like Ingrid Michaelson and Sarah Bareilles type music.
We both kind of decided that it sounded really cool on its own and that it's different, and so she put them on iTunes just without any music. And I don't know, I like it.
Well, I've been singing practically since I could talk, so I don't know. Music has just always been such a big part of my life, and I write a song basically whenever I'm feeling like upset about something, or if I'm happy or whatever. It's always about a certain situation, and so it just helps me through whatever I'm going through at the time. The Do I wrote after I saw my grandfather in the hospital. It's just kind of like I'll always be there for you, like no matter what happens.
I don't know, every time she wrote a new one, she sang it to me, and I asked her almost every time, what's the inspiration for this? She said sometimes you just need to write a song, sometimes there's really nothing behind it.
I wanted to put an album on iTunes. I've been writing songs and recording them for a while, so why not? I actually did it through GarageBand, but since then I've had offers to do like free recordings in like Philly. I went into it thinking that I would donate something to charity. A lot of my family has actually fought and conquered cancer, so I figured I'd just support the cause. The real reason why I started recording my songs was so I didn't have to just like sing them live to people who wanted to know what I was working on, like, oh Julia, what are you like always scratching down in that notebook? So I just recorded songs, and then they were like, wow, that was really good, you should put that on iTunes, and one thing led to another.
Like a lot of people that come into the vocal department their freshman year, she came in shy and kind of to herself, and it's so neat for us because we get to see them as they get older and become more confident, and she's done a lot to emerge as a leader in the department now.
I have major stage fright. I think recording just makes it a little easier because I can hide behind, the headphones as opposed to just live. Mrs. Lassie and Mrs. Frampton, actually, both of them, they're the music choral directors at East, and they encouraged me to, show what I could do.
She would come to me, then she would take it to Mrs. Lassie, then she would come back to me, and forth until she finally got something that was really awesome.
I mean, we're not here just to teach music, but we're here to inspire them to make it a lifelong love. Julia's a very thoughtful student. She really puts a lot of effort into what she does, and she takes criticism really well and asks for feedback, which I think is very refreshing.
I have to say she's definitely a role model for me. I also sing. I've written a couple of my own songs because I was like, oh my gosh, that's cool to be able to have something of your own and write your own music. So I have to say she's been a great inspiration to me and a great role model as an older sister.
And it makes me feel pretty good. It's a good feeling. I don't really know how to describe it. Can't really compare it to anything. 'Cause people say the darndest things when everybody wants to be in love.